Are Tinubu supporters finally coming to their senses that many of them are beginning to talk sense? If you recall, sometime October 2023, there was this heated argument between a staunch Tinubu supporter for so many years who came to Arise TV to have a conversation with Ruben Abati and Rufai Oseni. In that moment, the issue was on the fuel subsidy. And Rufai made some presentations that the man in question began to actually take these presentations personal. He began to say, Rufai, are you raising your voice on me? If you do that again, I'm going to walk away from this studio. Now, the question is, fast forward. The same man again is seen now crying foul, saying, Mr. Tinubu, you're not getting it right. You're only governing Nigeria with with Lagos voice. You are not governing with the Nigerian team. You are not getting it right. The same thing we have said for 14 months. He is coming out now to know that Mr. Tinubu is not getting it right. Well, if today is his first time of getting to know that the president is not getting it right, then so be it. Again, let's fast forward a little bit. Let's basically listen to this conversation that he had in 2023 so that you understand in clear terms what I'm driving at here.
Oh, thank you. How are you two?
You say?
How are you two? How are you doing?
I'm okay. I'm
Good.
okay.
Patriotism means supporting your country at all times.
Now, patriotism, supporting your country at all times, not necessarily supporting a candidate at all times. Yes, there are times a candidate might be in line with what the nation wants, of course, it earns your support. But when a candidate goes in a variance to what the nation wants, then it becomes your patriotic duty to speak up if you so care.
But also supporting the government when they deserve it. Mr. Onakwasa, I put it to you that you came here to misrepresent the facts today as regards subsidy removal. President Tinubu announced subsidy gone.
You know, I've made videos when I said President Tinubu was not actually the one who removed subsidy. But you know, the problem with the APC people is that sometimes, as Daniel Bola said, you cannot join the APC and your brains remains intact. Sometimes the way and manner they argue, because everything they must own it. I said, okay, let me tell you, when the president removed subsidy, or when President Tinubu removed subsidy on the 29th, when he said subsidy is gone, recall that Buhari's government still had subsidy till the 30th or 31st of June, which is end of Q2 2023. So between the 29th and 30th that he removed subsidy and the fuel price jumped up, what was in between? The money already appropriated for that payment of subsidy. People will never tell us who took those monies. These are the questions. But again, they said no, Buhari was pussyfooting, he wasn't doing this, that he was a decisive man, he took that decision, even when most of his supporters told him that was wrong. But he said, no, he didn't want to wait. If he had waited, they would have done something else. But hey, listen to that conversation once more.
On Inauguration Day. And that was effectively pulling out subsidy. So you say he didn't remove subsidy, quoting the PIA law that had been there for a while, is misrepresentation of the facts. That's number one. Number two, since President Tinubu got in... Let me finish, Mr. Onakwasa. Let me finish.
You see, and this is where the argument starts. Let me finish. Because again, he has 2 points to make. So fair point is you allow him, as the moderator, to finish. Then you can now interject.
Finish, please. Secondly, since he got in...
Don't raise your voice at me, young man.
If you actually play back, you will hear that the voice has remained at the same level. When you argue with someone, the person is trying to interrupt you. Obviously, it's natural. You go a little bit top notch, a top higher, a notch higher, in order for your voice to be heard, because you do not want the individual in question to actually interrupt you.
Don't raise your voice at me.
Let me finish, Mr. Onokpasa. Let me finish.
I'm your guest.
So since President Tinubu got in,
respect me.
Since President Tinubu got in,
I will
the
walk out of
economy.
your studio if you raise your voice at me.
You see, a bad salesman, or let's put it this way, a bad craftsman always quarrels with his tools. Whenever an argument is lost, people begin to look at flimsy things to begin to say. Recall that the same principle applies in within the men folks in Nigeria. When they argue with a woman and they lose an argument, the least or the easiest thing you hear them say, Ashawo. Whenever you hear a man say that, no, the woman has beaten him black and blue, bala blue, that he has absolutely nothing more to say. In this case here in this studio, you can see he has lost the argument. He has nothing productive to say. The only thing he can do is to try to blackmail him. In most cases, many of them, what they do is, some of them, and sometimes they might go to either gender or ethnic, jab in order to. But in this case, he's just basically gone to age, restrictions to know, you are a young man, listen to me. I do not know how old he is, but if you actually just oppose his age to that of Rufai, he might not entirely be that much older than Rufai. But hey, because again, he has lost the argument, hence he's going to use that age-related, barrier, basically, just to see if he can run away with that.
Mr.
Talk to me
Onokpasa,
respectfully.
you may will take your decision if you want to. I'm asking a question. You might.
Now, Rufai actually got him. He said, you may will take your decision, meaning if you want to leave, it is your sole responsibility to leave. You can as well leave at this point. But again, understanding that this is a live program, understanding that Rufai at this point hasn't really said something to upset him that much, if not that he knows he's losing the argument, he would have worked, but here he didn't.
Decide to walk out if you want to. Mr. Onokpasa, since President Tinubu came in, the economy has tanked. It's at an all-time low as we speak.
It has not. It has not.
Let me finish my question. Mr. Onokpasa, let me finish my question.
You are a liar.
Mr. Onokpasa, moderate yourself, all right?
Now, on a national TV, because you are so losing the argument, he goes now further on the offensive. You are a liar. Again, that is what you call disrespectful in this sense.
Moderate
Do you
yourself.
know what you are doing?
Good.
Listen to me. Young man.
Secondly,
do you know what you are doing?
At this point, I thought he's now calling him a young man. Even if someone at the age of my son, as long as I'm not the father, I don't know if on a national TV I can actually address that person as a young man, right?
since President Tinubu came in, the economy has tanked.
You are pretending to be a journalist.
The indicators are there.
With you?
Since he came in, the indicators are there. Number one, the cost of the dollar to the naira.
What is the matter with you?
The cost of the dollar to the naira has tanked tremendously as a result of the fluctuation of the currency. All right, that's one.
Is that Tinubu's fault?
Well, if that is Bola Tinubu's fault, that is the case, that is the issue here. Of course, that is Bola Tinubu's fault. He is the one that floated the naira. He is the one that said subsidy is gone immediately without any plans, crashed the Nigerian economy. Before he took over, in the streets of Abuja, we were still changing dollars between 675 and 700. But the moment he said the dollar is, the subsidy is gone and the floating the naira, everything went 1,200, 1,150, 1,200, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. At some point, come on, we're in this country all together. We understand what has happened. He made serious mistakes without putting a lot of measures in place. I give it to him. And again, if you're asking us if this is actually Bola Tinubu's fault, I would say, Mr. Onakbasa, sir, yes, he is. For the fact that he supported President Muhammadu Buhari, who wasted Nigerians' time for 8 years because he couldn't speak because he was waiting for his turn. Buhari was sick in London. Him and Bisia Kande went to see Buhari. When they came out, they didn't say that Buhari was sick. Everybody was pretending, but they knew and they saw a very sick man until Buhari came out and told Nigerians that he has never been this sick all his life. Those were his words. In 2019, re-election, the time to say, Buhari, please step down, you're draining and you are destroying this economy. No, he couldn't. Rather, he accepted to be the DG Buhari re-election campaign. Well, and he did not contribute, and it is not his fault. He's gone out in the whole 4 years that Buhari governed in his second term. He did not, for one day, say anything against the government of Buhari. Even when the Southwest had an issue with insecurity and they tried to come together to form a security outfit within the Southwest called Amotekun, again, Mr. Nasara Onokbasa, you were deaf and dumb. You did not know, and he did not know at that point. But today, you want us all to believe that he had no hands in the maladministration of Nigeria, even when he was called then the party chieftain and the party leader.
Secondly, don't you know why Naira tank?
I'm still asking my question. Secondly,
it's been an because of your friends.
Because it's been an all-time malaise in the economy as we speak. Cost of living gone up tremendously. All right, and things are really, really south for the economy. So, in all of this, it's been a slopey downward spiral. What would you have to say about all of this, Mr. Onakbasa?
Now, the question is finished. 3 questions in one, Mr. Onakbasa. It is now time for you to answer the questions.
Thank you very much for that question, Rufai Hosseini. Please, Dr. Ruben Abati and my adorable in-law, Mrs. Mairese, does anybody have a more reasonable question for me to answer? Because I am not dignifying that insulting question from Rufai with a response. Okay? If you want to be a journalist, you can be a journalist. And you should learn the ropes for those ahead of you.
Mr. Onakbasa, answer my question.
You can never be my mate. You can never.
Mr. Onakbasa, answer.
Now, before Ruben Abati intervenes, I mean, that's a story for another day. But the thing here is, because he did not have answers to the questions thrown at him, the answers, even a primary school child that has existed in Nigeria in the last 14 months understands where these issues are. But hey, he does not have those answers. But again, just like the prodigal son, whenever they repent and come back, bring them back with open arms. It appears Mr. Onakbasa is now repented, is now born again, and he has now seen the light. This morning, the same man in question appears to have gone on a journey of rediscovery, or self-rediscovery, and has just probably discovered the truth. Now, hear him out. You may not believe that this is the same man speaking like this. Now, let me zip it and hear him out.
You see, Mr. President, most of us supported you because we know your antecedents. what you are done in Lagos. But see what you did in Lagos. You mobilized Lagosians to fix Lagos, which is to be expected. What is more natural than that? However, you cannot mobilize Lagosians to fix Nigeria. You will have to mobilize Nigerians to fix Nigeria. So you cannot form a core of a team, okay, that is basically a Lagosian-based team to fix Nigeria.
Isn't that what many of us has been saying? He captured the Nigerian governing entity by what we tag the Lagos boys. I mean, why would it take someone so long to discover this? It's painful. September 15th, 2015 was when I wrote Buhari off. September 15th. Just a couple of months after he came in, he made his first round of appointments. He made his second round of appointment. He made then, and people started saying, why is Mr. President saying this? Why is Mr. President doing the other one? Then he went to the United States of America. And instead of reconciling some of the things he's been doing, his actions, he actually affirmed them when he said, that you cannot expect him to deal with 97% of those that voted him and 5% of those who did not vote for him. So, to those who care to listen, people, this is the mindset. He has told you his strategy on how he's going to govern. And until he left, that remained his strategy. Bola Ahmed Tinubu, he came in the first 4-5 months. He set the tone on how he wants to govern Nigeria, and he did not hide it. He made it very clear to everybody that cares to listen that he was going to govern Nigeria with a Lagos strategy. And again, many people didn't see that, but many of us that spoke against it still stand by that, unless he changes. But again, it's very comforting to hear finally that someone like Mr. Anopasa is now coming to the great reality.
It does not. It is mathematically incongruous. It's an incongruity.
Mm-hmm.
It is expected that you will mobilize a team of Lagosians to fix Lagos. But then, to that same extent, you will just have to mobilize a team of Nigerians to fix Nigeria. You say the Lagosians you brought with you to Abuja to help fix Nigeria. I mean, with respect, they are useless. Useless.
Sorry, I must laugh at this point. Did you call them useless? Ooh. Oga, what changed? These were people you were praising that they are the brains. These were people you people supported. You have seen them now and you're using your mouth to call them names. I don't know who is being disrespectful here. You, the same you that accuse Rufai Oseni because he asked you genuine questions, you called him names. You are now the one calling names. Wow. How convenient.
Starting with that, your chief of staff, Femi Gbajabiamila, the most useless amongst them.
What? Did you call Femi Gbajabiamila useless? Femi must hear this.
You will have to dismantle this team. With respect, my president, you will have to dismantle it and rebuild a true, genuine Nigerian core. It's not just a team in terms of appointment. There are these ministers. No. Your core team must no longer be a Lagosian team. It must be a Nigerian.
Now, we disagree. Your core team must remain Lagosians. After all, they started it. They did so well. They must remain. In fact, now we support it must be Lagosian. In fact, move the capital of Nigeria back to Lagos. Let everything be done in Lagos. In fact, let Bodolian be the Aso Rock Drive. Let us now all go mad. You know, the one who organized and who sponsored protests now has issues with people airing their views. Now calling people anarchists. Because why? Because they said they are hungry. This time around, let us all go mad full throttle. Why? Why not? Why can't we do that? Let's go crazy.
Nigerian team. Otherwise, we will just continue like this.
Of course, we have to.
Most of them are just interested in making money.
Oh, now you know.
They don't love you. They're not interested in your welfare, your political welfare. They are not interested in Nigeria, in moving Nigeria forward. These guys have been parasiting you for decades.
Now you know.
Let me even use our Delta Palace. They don't parasite you rich. Discard them.
No, Tinubu must not discard them. Femi Gbajabiamila is useless, quoting you. He must keep them. We like it when they are useless. Let's continue on the trajectory. In fact, now we are beginning to enjoy the government. Peace out.
Ah, la, 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 la.